See, on this channel, we talk about things I'm passionate about. And today we're going to talk about something I'm super passionate about, the Eastern Conference. I've been passionate about the Eastern Conference my whole life for obvious reasons. Now, we all know I am an Atlanta Hawks fan, the future champions in my lifetime, Atlanta Hawks. Um, I just want to, you look at the Eastern Conference right now and you see how competitive it is from 5 to 10. From 5 to 10, we are in a three-game kerfuffle, if that's a word. We're fighting. We're mixing matching every single week. And this video, I have a post that's going up on Twitter breaking up the next 2 weeks of the Eastern Conference from seedings from 5 to 10. That is the Toronto Raptors, the Atlanta Hawks, the Orlando Magic, the Miami Heat, the Philadelphia 76ers, and the Charlotte Hornets. We are going to be talking about all 6 teams on this channel today and just talk about their next couple 2 weeks. And that deadline for that 2 weeks will be April 6th. So this video will be talking about all their games going up to April 6th. I have a prediction at the end of the video of what I have the final Eastern Conference things going to be at the end of the season. I give a prediction for every single game they play up until April 6th, and I will even give you guys a record of what I think all the teams are going to be. Let's get into the motherfucking video now. The Atlanta Hawks. We were going to start with the Atlanta Hawks first because it's my team and this is where most of my fan base comes from. I love all you Atlanta Hawks fans. Boom. Atlanta Hawks, the last 20 games have been 15-5. The last 60 days, they're 8th in the net rating, 11th best offense, 7th best defense. Now, if you've been watching the Atlanta Hawks, and a lot of people don't watch the Atlanta Hawks, a lot of people go on Twitter and be like, oh, you guys haven't played anyone special. You're supposed to play who's in front of you. You're supposed to beat these bad teams. A lot of these teams don't beat these bad teams. A lot of these teams have a loss there, a loss there. I just saw New York Knicks lose to the Pacers about 2 weeks ago. Nobody speaks on that, but they want to speak on the wins the Atlanta Hawks got. God bless. We got the wins. The Atlanta Hawks, in the last, not even the last, the whole season, they have the second best five-man lineup in the league right now. Jalen Johnson, Dyson Daniels, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Onyeka, CJ McCollum. If you've been watching the Atlanta Hawks, all these five guys are hooping. Even the bench contributions right now, Zachary Ricochet or Quinn Snyder. I talked in my latest video. Go watch how Quinn Snyder has dumbed down Zachary Ricochet's role. So defensively, and he's been really good from three-point range as well. I'm pretty sure I was watching a Brad Rollins video. He's hit like 6 of the last 7 threes. Really, really good stuff from the Atlanta Hawks. And the person on every single team that I'm going to lay out this video, I'm going to give a shout out to someone that's hooping on the team, or I might diss on somebody. But I really want to shout out not Jalen Johnson, who I think could be an MIP winner, but I really want to give it to Nickeil Alexander-Walker, getting his points per game from 8 to 20. That's someone that needs to win an MIP. I want to speak on Dyson Daniels. A lot of people, national media, social media, stuff like that will say Dyson Daniels is having a bad year. You don't watch basketball. Dyson Daniels, to me, personally, is having a better season than he had last year, where he averaged 3 steals a game. Dyson Daniels, during this win streak, or during this last month of the season, 12.8 points, 60% from the field, 7 rebounds a game, 6 assists, basically, 2.5 steals. That's number 1 in the NBA in the last 30 days. In a 23.6 plus net rating. Shout out to Brad Rollins for giving me these stats. The Atlanta Hawks have been amazing. I'm gonna be honest with you. They've been motherfucking amazing. And their next couple games up until April 6th is they played 3 tanking teams. I during this, you're going to hear me say taking teams. I didn't want to list out the teams because I'm putting this in a tweet as well. I just didn't want to list out all the taking teams because nobody cares. Every time I say a taking team, I predicted that team to win against that team. So they have 3 ticking teams. Then they play the Pistons, which I have them actually beating the Pistons. Then they play the Knicks. They play the Magic. I have them sweeping the Magic. They're 3-0 against the Magic right now. I have them finishing and being at 4-0. They play the Celtics. I think they're going to split one of those games. I have the Atlanta Hawks in the next 8 games. That's 8 games I listed. In the next 8 games, I have Atlanta Hawks going 5-3 at best. Maybe 4-4 is their floor. But well, the way Dyson Daniels is playing aggressively, we just saw this guy have 5 threes against Golden State the other night. 5 threes attempted, which means the signs of aggressiveness. He made 2 of those threes. And just the Atlanta Hawks are all hitting him. I feel like when the team is hot, no matter who they played. You let them just build up wins and wins and wins and wins and wins. We're seeing this in March Madness. We saw a high point, build up wins to get to March Madness, play a team they're very inferior against, and they won their first round just because of the momentum that they're building. And that's what the Atlanta Hawks are doing going into the playoffs right now, building momentum. So I can't say that they're going to lose against the Pistons without Cade Cunningham, which I think the Atlanta Hawks can win that game. The Orlando Magic without dominate all season. The Celtics, they play the Celtics on back to back where Jason Tatum might not play that night. I can see them winning that game too. So yeah, prediction 5-3 for the Hawks. Boom. Toronto Raptors. They've been 10-10 in their last 20 games. I have them. They played 3 tanking teams. Then they play the Suns. I have them losing against the Suns. That's actually today. Might have the video out before that. Hope I'm right. They play the Clippers. I have them losing against the Clippers. They play the Pelicans. I have them beating the Pelicans. I have them beating the Magic. Losing against the Pistons. I don't know if Cade will be back late. That's later in 2 weeks. I probably won't be back, but the Pistons, I have to give them some wins. I can't just assume they're going to lose every game. And I have them losing against the Celtics. I have them at 6-4. My biggest opinion for the Toronto Raptors, this is not a team I watch every single day. So when I don't watch a team every single day, I don't want to give outlandish takes, but I want to give takes that I've seen throughout the whole season that's a little bit more broad. The Raptors look like they need a number 1 offensive usage. I think Scotty Barnes has been amazing this year. Defensively, we see Scotty Barnes being a top 5 defender in the league. This is some guy that will be first team all defense, and a guy that's, I mean, as long as Wemby hits the 65 games, it's his award to win. But Scotty Barnes is like a juiced up Aaron Gordon. I said on my pick your spot podcast that we had before that's been removed out the world, sadly. But he's like a juiced up Aaron Gordon at his best. His 3-point shot has went down from what it was at the start of the season. Oh yeah, I like the cut. It went down since the start of the season, but I think Scotty Barnes has been really good as a secondary playmaker or a playmaker for the team. Defensively, he's picking up 1 through 5. BI has been good, but I just think BI has a ceiling. And then we have Emmanuel Quickly that's been all right. Emmanuel quickly experiences up and down, up and down, up and down. We have Jakob Poeltl that's been hooping recently. Shout out to Jakob for finally coming back in that back situation. RJ Barrett does his thing in there. Probably going to look to trade him during the offseason. When RJ Barrett's out, they lose games because they lose the physicality of someone that's currently always diving to the rim, not selling for jumpers, aka BIN. Emmanuel. 76ers. Is the next thing we're going to talk about. They're 10-10 in their last 20 games. There's not much I'm going to speak on the 76ers. They play 2 tanking teams. Then they play OKC, Hornets, Heat, Wolves, Pistons, Spurs. I have them losing all 6. I have them going 2-6. Being the 2 tanking teams, losing all 6. They're getting Paul George back on the 25th. That is in 3 days from the recording of this video on the 22nd. How will Paul George look after being out for a month? There's probably going to be times for him to turn up the gears. We're seeing Embiid out with his oblique injury in and out. And then we know even with the oblique injuries, always having the knee problem. We have Maxey that unfortunately hurt his hand against the Atlanta Hawks with like 30 seconds left in a game that they already lost. Not sure why he was in the game. I mean, I get it. I get coaching, but still. My next couple things for the next 2 weeks, can they build on what they're doing right now, though? They've won against some of their tanking teams they're playing right now. VJ Edgecombe has looked amazing. VJ has looked amazing. I have to say it twice because he's looked amazing as a rookie right now. And can they get a role for Justin Edwards? I see Philly fans talk about him all the time. Can he stop just like going to the end of the bench when all these players come back? And Justin Edwards, defensively, he's getting like stocks every single game. He's hitting the 3 ball. He had a bad game recently just against Utah last night. I think that was Utah they played, or whatever tanking team they played last night. But other than that, Justin Edwards been pretty good. So the Orlando Magic. I got them right now at 12-8, and then they're 12-8 in their last 20 games. They're playing 3 ticking teams. Then they play the Cavs. I have that as a loss. They play the Raptors. I have that as a loss. They play the Suns. I have that as a win. They play the Hawks. I have that as a loss. They play the Pelicans and they play the Pistons. I have those both as wins. I have the Orlando Magic in the next 9 games going 6-3. My thing with Orlando Magic, they're on a pretty bad losing streak right now. It's like 4 games now after they was going on the same run the Atlanta Hawks have, beating like some bad mediocre teams and having some good wins in there. But the Paulo Banchero experience, up and down, up and down, up and down. Desmond Bain, He's looked really good this season. You know, you've made my top 10 hater list. Go ahead and check the TikTok down below. Um, Jalen Suggs, he's getting back. Franz Wagner is going to be coming back. How can they integrate Franz Wagner back into the team? Every time Franz and Paulo is on the court together, it doesn't look great. It doesn't look great. Can we see a breaking up this offseason? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Who knows? But even with that being said, it's just like, can we get consistent offense? Late in games, can we find a way to get consistent offense? Can we use Paulo more as a screener? Can we use Paulo more in any ways other than him just having the ball at the top of the key and then settling sometimes for mid-range jumpers when he has a smaller guard on him? Can we get Paulo some low block touches? Can we get Paulo on some running off some screens and then maybe used as a distraction down the road? Because it just seems like we are literally seeing Paulo. I watched Paulo play in the Atlanta Hawks the other day. It was one of the worst watches I've ever seen by the coach and the player. Both decisioning. They couldn't get Paulo in good spots. When they did get Paulo in good spots, Paulo sometimes settled. Paulo was getting locked up by Jalen Johnson, which Jalen Johnson defensively this year hasn't been the greatest, but sometimes he's locked in, sometimes he's not. But for the most part, that's a matchup where we would all assume Paulo should dominate. Yeah. Can the Orlando Magic stay consistent? That is the big thing for them. Then we got the Miami Heat. Miami Heat in the last technical difficulties. Miami Heat in the last 20 games is 11-9. The Miami Heat are number 9 in offense, number 8 in defense. They're playing two taking teams. They're playing the Spurs after, then the Cavs twice, the 76ers and the Celtics. I have them going 4-3 in this spot, losing to the Spurs, probably splitting a game against the Cavs, and then I have them losing against the Celtics. That would be 4-3. They would beat the shit out the 76ers most likely, and they're probably getting one game on the Cavs, and then obviously I'm having to beat the two taking teams. Bam Adebayo, our modern day GOAT. We saw this guy grab 83. Remember, it's Wilt Bam Kobe. Remember that if you're looking at Jordan and Kobe as your GOATs, it's Bam Adebayo. LeBron James, he was the best Heat. It's Bam Adebayo. Bam has been really, really good. We just saw Bam against Houston have like a 30-20 game, like, or 20-20 for sure. And he's looked really good, just offensively. I think Spo's using Khalil Wilmore. You know, he didn't play against Houston because Houston played a little bit more quicker, so they kind of took him out the game plan for this. But Pele Larson, I want to give him a shot. The last 10 games, Pele Larson, 13.7 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 41% from 3, 46 from the field. Pele Larson's been good. Andrew Wiggins, Jaime Hawkins, Norman Powell, even Tyler Hero some games, they've been missing time recently. How can they integrate and keep Pele Larson productive while they're coming back? Obviously, the points are going to go down. Obviously, there's more opportunity when people leave. But I digress. We need to find a way to keep Pele Larson involved because he's been really good for this offense. And can they just have a consistent level of creativity offensively late in games? They've been cool. Not gonna lie, but like obviously we know this team lacks some things, and they're just kind of a people. Shout out to Drew in the Pick a Side podcast. He called them a spicy Chicago Bulls, just a little spiced up, a little bit more cleaner. That's what they kind of are. We know what the Miami Heat are. They're gonna be in that playing game. Bam's tired of being the playing game. Let's see what changes they do during the offseason. But right now, I have them going 4-3. The Hornets. This is a team with the number 1. I talked about the Atlanta Hawks earlier in the video with the number 5 best line, the second best 5-man lineup. The Charlotte Hornets is the number 1 5-man lineup with Colin Candelo, Brandon Miller, Moussa Diabate, LaMelo Ball, and Miles Bridges. They've been amazing offensively. We're looking at a team in our next 8 games. They play 3 taking teams. They play the Wolves, the Suns, the Celtics, 76ers, the Knicks. I have them beating the Timberwolves. Probably, I think that's a closer game, so it might not be bad for that game. That puts them at 4-2. I have them beating the Suns. That puts them at 5-2. That I have them beating the 76ers. That would put them at 6-2. And they could potentially beat the Knicks as well and make them 7-1. I would have the Celtics beating them. But the Charlotte Hornets have been really good. They're a very scary team. A lot of teams are saying they don't want to match up against them for obvious reasons. They've been hot. I'm so happy after Charlotte Hornets. Sorry to bring back Atlanta Hawks. I'm an Atlanta Hawks fan. I have to do this. The Atlanta Hawks streak, by the way, they played a bunch of taking teams. If you guys go back to the Charlotte Hornets streak, which they're a really good team, but the Charlotte Hornets beat taking teams as well. Y'all know that, right? Y'all know that, right? I boom. Okay, so me personally, I would say the Charlotte Hornets streak started on, I would personally say, January 22nd. That's when we would say the Charlotte Hornets was taken very, very serious. They beat the dog piss out. Wait, no. Let's do January 18th. Not Jokic. Wait, did Jokic play? Okay, the Charlotte Hornets streak to me started on January 22nd. They beat the dog piss out the Orlando Magic, beat the Wizards, beat an injured 76ers team, beat the Grizzlies. That was a bad team at the time. They beat the Mavs. They beat the Spurs. Very good one. 5-point win against the Spurs. They beat the Pelicans. They beat the Rockets. Great win against the Rockets. They beat the Hawks when the Hawks were struggling. They lost to the Pistons. Beat the Hawks by 3. They got beat by the Rockets, so they traded with the Rockets during the season. They lost to the Cavs, then beat the Wizards, beat the Bulls, beat the Pacers, beat Portland, beat the dog piss out the Mavs, beat the dog piss out the Celtics. They had amazing shooting. Tatum was not back at this time, by the way. That Celtics team's still a good team. Got whooped by the Suns, beat the Blazers by 2. Beat the Kings recently, lost to the Spurs, beat the Heat, beat the Magic, beat the Grizzlies, and that's where we're at with the Kings. The Hornets played a lot of tanking teams in here. Their big 2 prime wins, what I would say, against the Celtics and Spurs. The Heat and the Magic are great wins. But what I'm getting at is the Atlanta Hawks played tanking teams that well. They beat the Magic during their streak. And it's like they beat the Celtics early in the season. Yeah, we don't have a prime win like the Spurs because the Spurs are looking like a top 3, top 4 team in the league. But the point I'm at, and yes, the Hornet stretch was from the end of January to where we are now. So you could say that's a longer stretch of games. But the point of the matter is, to me, I think the Atlanta Hawks and the Charlotte Hornets have been both really good. And I feel like if we're going to show love to one team, you can show love to the Atlanta Hawks team without saying, oh, who they beat. Because the Hornets, other than those 2 prime wins that I named, I don't really care for the other ones because they lost to the Cavs. They lost to these other teams. They beat the Spurs and they beat the Celtics without Tatum. So I digress. But I said all that not to hate on Charlotte Hornets. They have been amazing. But, okay, so my prediction for the Eastern Conference. This is from 1 to 10. I can even go to who I think is going to win in the play-in. I got 1 as the Pistons. I think even with the Cade injury, they have like a 4-game lead against the other teams. They have some winnable games on the record that they can still win and they can still keep the gap. I think the Celtics are going to make it very, very close. But I would have the Pistons 1. I would have the Celtics 2. I would have the Knicks 3. The Cavs 4. I keep the Raptors at 5. I mean, right now, like I said, in their next 10 games, I have them going 6-4. After that, they just will have to win a couple more games. I think they can lock in that 5 spot, maybe drop to 6. I have my Atlanta Hawks at 6. Schedule does get a little harder, but I think the fact they have 3 tanking teams left and they have some winnable games like the Magic that they beat. I think they have a Celtics that are coming off a back-to-back winning those nights that they can get trades on. I think even after that schedule, I'm pretty sure they have like the Kings or something. They have a game against the Cavs that might be resting their starters because they're like in this position where like they're already locked in, stuff like that. So I digress. I have the Orlando Magic at 7. I have the Charlotte Hornets at 8. I have the Miami Heat at 9 and have the Philadelphia 76ers at 10 due to injuries. If in a 9-10 game, I would have the Miami Heat beating the 76ers currently. If the 76ers is healthy, and when I mean healthy, all 3 starters are there and they're themselves, then I would have the 76ers winning. But to say the 76ers are healthy is a false dream nowadays, so I can't say. Then I win the 7-8 game. I would actually have the Hornets beating the Magic. And then we would have a Magic versus Heat game for number 8. I would have the Magic coming there. So then our Eastern Conference playoffs series would look like Pistons versus Magic 1-8 game, Celtics versus Hornets 2-7 game, amazing. Knicks versus Hawks, old rivalry 3-6. Cavs versus Raptors 4-5. That's how I would have the Eastern Conference finishing out these next 2 to 3 weeks. If you enjoyed all that was a lot. I'm gonna have timestamps for you can get to your favorite team. You can get to predictions at the end if you just want to skip it, hear me talk. You're going to see me rock this hoodie a lot in the next couple of videos. Shout out to Black Clover. Shout out to the guy that made this hoodie. This hoodie is fucking amazing. This is the Captain Yami hoodie. If you don't know, I'm a nerd. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I love you guys so much. I'm always going to drop videos that I like to talk about. There's things that I like to talk about. More videos are coming. Make sure you follow the TikTok because short content is getting spammed over there and stuff like that. I love you guys so much. Leave your thoughts down below of what you guys are gonna say. Like y'all saw in the last video, if you leave a comment, I will leave a voice message me responding back. So with that being said, I appreciate all you guys. Y'all have a great day. Look, that's not hard. Love y'all.